I have really outdone myself.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on.
René! Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food.
The only one you have.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really. Of course, officer. Let me think. I heard someone No, officers. I'm sorry.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder-whisky ghost caviar in the unit.
He means caviar.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep...
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of union prick he can't...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with little things. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or...
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he doesn't know anything.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I hate this socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
Evrard Claire. Everyone in Martinez knows the Claire brothers. I told...
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under. There he stands, proud.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
Everyone in Martinez knows...
What do you...
The old soldier. There he's...
Let's try not...
Lest we leave riddled with bullet.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs some... Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspaper.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. A rusting control. This panel usually closes.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between.
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping...
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil...
The words, daredevil.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here. Especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
A rusting control. This panel usually closes. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. Whatever it is, the boy on the goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than it's an acquired taste. Just some tasteless advertising at the bottom of a canal. No you. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a "This is you." Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM. What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some...
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among the light pole, has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been... This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect work. It was brought to me to be...
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
$700 real. A bargain, I dare say. There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its more...
The boomboxes wait on the shelves.
is the Harman Welshie W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm. If police work means playing tapes, sure. Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with record...
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
The stuff I record myself, silverware shaking in drawers as motor cars race by.
Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into these more experiment. You see rows of try to find something pretty and cool here. Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. I don't like either set very much, to be honest. But there are many parents among my customers.
Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken toys.
Hello again. How can I help you? Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple...
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig. Truth be told...
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
It's possible in these parts of town. We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
My apologies, officer.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have...
Of course. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Yes?
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
These are all boring. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more,
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically...
No, you are definitely not buying those. No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this. Okay, fine. Go ahead. If you want to look like a walking midlife crisis, then who am I to interfere?
Oh, very interesting.
this is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, yes. But they also make...
Wow, officer! You look so cool! And they can be yours for a mere...
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
There are clothes in...
Don't be shy! These are...
Save the economy? That sounds off. You find your hands deep in tattered and...
economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving. Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
Something cold grazes your hand.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only...
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
A pair of found ultras.
Those sneakers, mister.
Only? That's madness. Found ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. These once respectable speakers have been conquered.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to...
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. You do, officer, you do. Remember, we don't have to resort to socialism.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by the name Sileng is embroidered over him.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are... You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, yes. You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time. Me? It's a boring story, officer.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais.
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
The Apricot Suzerainty is what the Seaguy archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol.
No, apricots come from Seaguy. My grandma used to grow them. But Seaguy is a shithole. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Seaguy. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, good joke, officer.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom. That's right. Revachol is the best place for an independent self-employer. Good.
You glance around.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their...
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its low officials are so cool. Hyper cool. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, but no need for discounts at ceilings, officer.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up? Anything for you.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business.
Oh, okay. An investment? What kind of investment? I hear you, officer. What kind of a sum are we talking about here? Sounds like a fair deal all around.
Corruption.
It's just like bus or seagull. A kid watching out of a window describing things going by. He doesn't like it too much, but what do you do? The worn and beaten wooden...
We can sit on benches after we...
You can revisit the bench.
Yes?
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even. A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the...
What about me? No.
The lieutenant nods.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Place. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her...
Kind of you to offer, sir.
What could you do to help her anyway?
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little
Behind her, the window has been boarded up.
cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about...
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board... Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me...
It does not manifest itself in any way. No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a... And it's kind of like... You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? That's great, sir. Head?
Not head.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fake. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The girl keeps...
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going. She looks around, anxious. The lieutenant stands by, a facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation. She brings out her reddened...
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
rats. I just read books. Maybe they're just afraid of books. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
If you say so, sir. Crime fiction is about murders or You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head?
Not head.
Isn't that very unlike you? Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the rows and rows of Hyamdala men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Maybe 100. Man from Hyamdal, not even close. Man from Hyamdal in Hell. Man from Hyamdal and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Hyam, rows and rows of Hyamdala, maybe 100. Man, the display rack before you is burdened under power. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyamdal. She's laughing at him. Between the throne and the Hyamdala man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyamdal and the Devil Woman.
The entire series is also...
Oh, sirs, I know. This really isn't representative of our values.
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyamdal novels.
Oh, blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives. What does it matter? If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyamdala Man, the man from...
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. An endless variety of... There's also a large books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? There's a box. That price is steep. But then it's...
Wonderful board. Browbritter is a fun game of...
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Then don't.
Friends are technically... For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where lousy auras there. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have...
These shelves are overburdened with...
Oh, crime, Rob. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy...
crime fiction. These books, what's more, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. You see, a killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. Oh no, turns out he fainted to solve a case. Yes, tragedy calls for Dick. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is... Your quick eye notices a small a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his... Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Then this is the book for you. The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of...
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's a very influential historical figure. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the Innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of... Certainly, it's prudent for...
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. Browsing through, suddenly, High-Speed Love chronicles the romance next to Irv's life story. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality, Guillaume
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them... I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Several maps. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catch this large map. Ozon, Laurentide, fast disintegrating into... In the northeast, a dust mite you can, on Caillou. Lost little pearls. 850 million people live. The ocean connections to other worlds. Words past the Incelindian. Unknown. You have little idea what they are. Distant star. Perhaps they are God. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by... To the east, rolling hillsides. Le Jardin. Coudon. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jack. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty...
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez... They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The place does not look like a successful...
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in...
This bookstore is not strictly about...
So I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Amidst these three things, the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is that it serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind of wholeness, unity, but when it's up to your mind to heal, the book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? The throbbing in your head increases with suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific... For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venic or hand broom. Made from it is, and good for the circuit. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey, among other benefits. That seems improbable. For general health and well, these strolls promise to cleanse. This is exactly what you need. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital...
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it.
You see...
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for him. Nothing. Now, please go back.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular pot. This is a traditional inhabitants of Elysium. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to...
Welcome to crime. Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. Welcome to crime. Be welcome. And please, I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Cursed?
What in God's name is she talking about?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10,
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. God, I've told her not to.
A part of hers too, clearly.
She can, if she has.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe. She's looking for one, but
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and there. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind.
it sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course.
My husband is completely different, of course.
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in... It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful... Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity. He made the initial investment. Since then...
Super silent, almost inaudibly so.
She's been too busy helping me here. I assure you, I of all people understand the...
And hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into. The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves.
She smiles and...
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to...
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang just as you're about to pull apart the curtains.
Sir, don't touch that. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please, you do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Why? It's not like any... I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. No! Please just talk to me, officer.
Talking is always... There is something... The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to... I already told you, it's just a storage... Just let it go, officer.
She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of.
It's just for decoration. Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? The curse is so much worse than... It's the curse of finance...
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with... There's something wrong with this building.
Sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous. It's not good to talk about the curse, not...
Wow. Void raves. You have new words.
Yes, I've contacted numerous The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that... Oh, this! No, it's a special Himian. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people.
Most certainly not. I don't...
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one.
You look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
How do you...
Here we go.
You're part Simonese. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain? If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear? Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman. A witch, probably. I've suspected that she must be... Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious.
Unbelievable darkness. And what you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. You see a